Asterisk. Asterisk. If you were presented with a looking glass, not reflecting your physical form, but revealing the raw, unfiltered truth of your soul, would you summon the courage to gaze into it? Asterisk, asterisk. There existed once a village shrouded in an unusual fear. The people were terrified of their own reflections. It wasn't the lines of their faces, nor the pigment of their skin that instilled such dread. It was what the village's central mirror revealed, not the image the world perceived, but rather, asterisk, the beliefs they held about themselves, asterisk. The mirror, a towering slab of polished silver, stood sentinel in the village square. Its frame was adorned with intricate, carved symbols, their meaning lost to time, undecipherable to the modern eye. At morning, the villagers would scurry past, heads bowed in submission, careful to avoid even a fleeting glimpse of their reflection. Mothers cautioned their children, their voices hushed with warning. Don't linger too long, child. The mirror shows who you asterisk. Think asterisk. You are not the boundless potential of who you asterisk. Truly, one day a young boy named Cairo, his heart brimming with youthful curiosity, voiced a question that had long remained unspoken. Asterisk. If the mirror merely reflects our beliefs, then why do we harbor such fear towards them? Asterisk silence met his query. No one dared to answer. Cairo spent his days observing the villagers, watching as they meticulously avoided their reflections. He saw strong men, weathered by years of toiling in the fields, their shoulders slumping as they neared the mirror. Women, repositories of generations of wisdom, their steps faltering, their voices fading to a mere whisper. Elders, who once commanded respect and ruled with unwavering grace, now walked with hesitant steps, their confidence eroding with each stride towards the silver surface. Intrigued and determined, Cairo resolved to confront the mirror himself. He approached it at dawn, when the village still lay dormant, wrapped in the embrace of sleep. The surface shimmered like liquid mercury, reflecting the nascent light of the rising sun. As he leaned closer, he anticipated seeing his own face, brown skin radiant in the morning light, eyes sparkling with the boundless energy of youth. But instead, the mirror presented a different reality. He saw a diminished version of himself, shrinking inwards, as if attempting to vanish into the encroaching shadows. He saw doubts he had never dared to voice, anxieties he had kept locked away. He saw echoes of whispered words overheard, behind closed doors. Too young, too loud, too different. He saw labels that were not his own, yet he had silently, unknowingly, accepted as truth. For a moment, Cairo recoiled, shaken by the distorted image. But then, fueled by a newfound resolve, he steeled himself and looked again. This time, he refused to flinch, refused to succumb to the fear. He reached out, his hand gently caressing the cool, smooth surface of the mirror. "I am more than what the world has conditioned me to believe," he whispered, his voice trembling with conviction. The reflection wavered, distorted by his words, and then, slowly, it began to transform. Cairo watched in awe as a new image emerged. Not the shrinking, fearful boy, but one standing tall, shoulders squared, eyes blazing with unwavering confidence. The mirror had not lied. It had simply waited for him to challenge the narrative he carried within him, the story he had allowed others to write. When the villagers awoke, they found Cairo standing proudly before the mirror, bathed in the golden light of the rising sun. He wasn't hiding. He wasn't afraid, and something about the way he stood, the strength that emanated from him, compelled them to stop. One by one, they approached, their gazes drawn to the mirror. They looked first with trepidation, then with burgeoning curiosity. Some wept, their tears reflecting years of suppressed pain. Some turned away, unable to confront the truth. Others laughed, a sound of liberation and relief echoing through the square. For the first time, they understood. The mirror had never been the enemy. The true adversary had always been their own limiting beliefs, the negative narratives they had internalized, and from that day forward, the village began to heal, not by altering the mirror itself, but by rewriting the stories they saw reflected within it, by challenging the lies they had allowed to define them. Who's like that? A new truth settled over the people, a truth that resonated deep within their souls. The color of their skin was never a burden. The reflection they had feared was never their enemy. The real battle had always been the insidious voice within that whispered, "You are not enough." And like any lie repeated ad nauseum, it had begun to feel undeniably real. What transpired in that village mirrors a truth that resonates deeply with many Black people today. We carry reflections we did not choose, reflections shaped by harmful stereotypes, by the weight of history, by systems deliberately designed to diminish us. We navigate boardrooms, classrooms, and entire cities like those villagers, instinctively avoiding the emotional mirror, terrified of confronting the distorted version of ourselves that others have constructed. Code switching becomes a survival mechanism, a shield against prejudice. Downplaying our brilliance becomes a habit, a way to avoid unwanted attention, and the immense weight of representation becomes a silent burden, unseen by the outside world. But the truth remains. We cannot allow inherited doubt to define our identity. We cannot allow someone else's narrative to become our reflection. We cannot continue to pass by the mirrors of our lives without daring to look, without daring to challenge the image staring back at us. Because the moment we confront ourselves, even the parts shaped by pain, fear, or past wounds, we reclaim the power that the world has tried to strip away. We seize control of our own narrative. The lesson is simple, yet profound. Your skin is not a limitation. Your reflection is not a warning. Your truth is not something to fear. If the mirror shows who you believe you are, then your power ignites the moment you choose to believe something greater, something more expansive, something that resonates with the truth of your being. Stand tall. Rewrite the story. Challenge the old reflection until a new one gazes back at you with pride, with unwavering. And when you walk past your own mirror, whether literal or metaphorical, don't look away. Look with intention. Look with honesty. Look with unconditional love. Because your reflection is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a powerful, transformative journey. Asterisk. Asterisk. Stay grounded. Stay gold. Asterisk. Asterisk.